I mean, we literally left the Dirty Show at Ontario, 10 o'clock at night. Flights were too much. We drove 22 hours straight to Richland, Washington to play Joker's Club. We drove through the Sierras in a fucking snowstorm with no sleeping. We just both stayed awake the whole time to save money on the flight. But the point is we did it just to get that weekend, to keep the weekend, so we'd get another weekend for 2020. That's how we're envisioning now. Whatever we got to do to make sure next year we made more money than we did this year. Right. And that's all we give a shit about. Like, we'll do whatever it takes.
It's funny because I'm lining up 2020.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm lining it up in my mind. I got a movie coming out in September. Where do I want to go before that? Where do I want to go after that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What else comes out? What can I put around that to make that explosion bigger?
Right.
This is all planning. Like, yeah, it's 2019, but I'm thinking about when that Soprano movie comes out. Right. What can I sprinkle around it? Do I come out with a book? Do I come out with a documentary / stand-up type thing? You know, the special thing has really gone away. If you make a special now with a fucking camera from a comedy club and put it on YouTube, you're still gonna get tons of love.
Right.
In fact, you might get more love and respect. You know.
Yeah.
It's so funny how things have changed that you could create your own hype now.
Yeah.
You don't need NBC to create your hype or Montreal to create your hype. I admire you guys because you didn't give up. You know, I see you pounding that fucking Ontario show like motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And it's a lesson that you learn. I know that I knew you guys would make it through. After I spoke to you, I saw the change in your social media.
Yeah.
And how you were approaching things. And it's an approach and not giving up to the enemy. Hey, man, I had tons of fucking dry storms. It's peaks and valleys. Anybody who knows anything about life, it's peaks and valleys. And it's how to deal with it when you're in the valley.
Right.
The peaks will come and everybody goes in the valley at one time. And you got to look at yourself in the mirror and go, I could take the easy route and end up back here. I could take the easy route and end up back here. I could get a little fucking something for a few months, but I'm going to end up here. Let me take the hard route. Get it over with, and I'll never be in this fucking position again.
That's word for fucking word what we're doing right now.
That's it.
Like
That's it.
We're taking gigs that we haven't done in years, but we're for two reasons. We're writing material. We've been in a writing material phase for the past 6-8 months where we're not doing the same set. Even when we were on tour, we purposely were trying to do 2 different 45-minute sets because we're out of that 90 minutes, we'll probably have a 45 minutes, 40 minutes. You know what I mean? So we're weeding stuff out. And we weren't worried about it in the Bible Belt because, fuck, some of these people don't even have internet or TV.
Yeah, and
anything.
they told us this is their first live show they've ever seen. Like, these are people that had one stoplight in their fucking town. So they were just excited there was an entertaining show in our fucking town tonight. Like, it was amazing. So we didn't care about on our side, hey, we're going to throw shit out there. They're just happy to be here. So it worked out for us. It was like the greatest gym we could ever go to.
And we booked the whole tour like that. Places that the comedy club wouldn't book us. We looked up the biggest rock venue, the biggest country.
It was a lot of country saloons.
So we're going through Alabama later in September, October in towns where probably comedy's not done, but we're going in there and ticket sales are medium right now, but we'll punch it up before the
it's
dates
September.
come.
The summer's not even here. Nobody's even
Thinking
you're thinking
about
about September, go shoot yourself now.
Yeah.
We're thinking about fucking June and getting your dick
That's
sucked.
right.
And your balls
Yeah.
licked at
Going to the beach.
jumping up and down. Nobody's worried about fucking September right now, especially right now with school coming out.
Yeah. But
Kids don't even want to hear the word September.
But we've been multitasking like that, and it's been good, and it made us hungrier. You know, after we had our little hangout with you, and you inspired us, and Chad and I just sat down for literally a week and just wrote down notes. What can we do to attack 2019? Well, we did. We attacked 2019. We got about 25 cities that we're hitting this year.
But we also did something different that no comic that we know of has ever done. We started thinking, how can we make money without performing? So we went to a local brewery where we live, and we came out with our own IPA, all these new beers. It's a big popular thing. We have and the name of our tour is the Two-Headed Monster Tour. So this guy created our own beer. It's bottled, called the Two-Headed Monster IPA. It's sold at Ontario Improv, Brea Improv, and we're selling beer. We're not even fucking there. Our picture is on the fucking tables, and we're not even fucking there. Like, no one else thought of that shit. we beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
Fuckers. We stick them up, kid. We're here first.
That's it.
So that's what we're doing. And we're selling our own beer. The video comes down and it's a commercial of us. I mean, that's fucking great. And no one else was doing it. So that's why we told ourselves, we got to do something different. No one wants to give us a chance since
nobody's going to get, you have to assume.
We're taking it.
You have to assume in this life that nobody's going to give you a chance. You have to assume. You have to go, you know what? People are going to throw shade on me. You know, Dan from Brea was great to me. Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
Jan from the Ice House, the other guy from the Ice House, Bob.
Right.
They were good to me. Everybody else was according to your credits. And I know who those people are. And today I treat them a certain way. And if they want to give me money, I'll take it. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's forgotten about. But I know who's there in the beginning.
Right.
It's weird because when I went home, I sat across from people a couple nights at different dinners. And while I was eating dinner with them, I looked at them and I go, these people were my friend before I ever sold a ticket. These people were my friends before I even thought about comedy. These people were my friends when they were getting abused for being my friends. Like, they were getting abused for fucking hanging out with a junkie who just robbed their friend's house and all this shit. And it made me think of a story I told on one of the Ari shows about my mother had a friend as a writer, and they were always tight for years, and my mother had a couple different friends. I didn't, I paid attention to them. I liked her because she'd always give me $50 and, and she always did coke in front of me. And I liked that. As a kid, she did coke anywhere, at church, in a restaurant, in a hotel, on the beach. She would just do a blast just to get a reaction out of you. And you would be like, and I would just like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But she really came through my mother's last 2 years on this planet. My mother was struggling, and now she was a drug dealer in Manhattan. She had her own little spot in Spanish Harlem, and she made millions. And she started coming over to Jersey at night. And I didn't really know what was going on. They weren't lesbians or nothing, but they were just dear friends. She would sleep on the couch, and they would go to the track together. And then one day my mother died. And, in reality, my mother had a brother. My mother had an ex-husband. She was the first person I called. And she came over and set up the funeral. We went and identified the body together, and she picked out a dress for her. And then it was her against my stepdad. And she knew my stepdad had shot people and had been a criminal. She didn't give a fuck. She took control of the wake. She started throwing people out of the wake. She choked the fucking funeral director for putting the wrong dress on my mother.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, it was fucking classic. But then she did something that went the ordinary. She made a promise at the wake that she would take care of me. And I was like, this is why my mother's wake taught me a lot about life. That's why you never see me at funerals.
Yeah.
Because I can't deal with them. Because in my heart, I want to go up to people and go, you know what? Ralphie didn't like you and you didn't like him. Get out of here.
Yeah.
You didn't like Ralphie either. You accused him of doing this. Get the fuck out of here. You got to go too. I'm one of those people. So before I go and start throwing people out and calling people and starting a fist fight, I don't go to those things because it goes back to my mother's funeral. I lived it. I lived people who said to me, if you need something, call. And after my mother died, they changed their phone number.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.